Hey traders, this is Thiago and welcome to Boulevard Futures channel. So far I was carrying out the live stream in Portuguese and now we're just starting in English. I'm trying to make it in both languages currently. Let's see if it will work. And so all the guys are invited to see obviously both languages. Both languages. Just checking here. So let's go to the point.
Agora crava a roda na água antes da prancha chegar na base, e aí tem uma força da onda, ele já coloca a prancha reta para a prancha sair já com velocidade da manobra. É a mesma coisa que eu utilizei para explicar a técnica do Italy Seven, Toledo. São approaches, são estilos diferentes, porém bem parecidas, principalmente na colocação dos braços.
Fala, garoto. Hi, Aaron. Are you there? So, guys, we are seeing prices stuck in this region of 600 to 608. It's the players found liquidity there, so we're seeing exhaustions around the 8 when moving upwards, and now we've started seeing exhaustions from sellers above the 600. So this means that kind of both sides are there is liquidity enough within this range so as buyer do not need to buy higher and seller does not need to sell lower. Okay. Just leaving this message here, Aaron, for the guys eventually joining. But so we have this scenario. Liquidity comfortable, seems to be a comfortable liquidity from 600 to 607.50. We see here, if you look at the third volumetric bar right here, it's clear this volume here from 4 to 6. It's really strong. Let's see. Oh, Aaron, I'm looking at the volume. It's interesting because it seems that the move reduced, but I think that the volume itself, I think that today we have this 522 here. As far as I remember, it seems to be it's not that small, it's not that low. So it's interesting. Maybe it's getting stuck and the displacements are getting lower, but I think that maybe it's a bit higher than the previous two sessions. Not sure, but let's see, heading upwards again. Now we're making it's look here, it's suffering to overcome the 625, 675. Let's see if this time it will succeed. Let's see what happens. Five minutes, we're seeing big shadows, both up and down. 2 minutes, we see clearly kind of sideways. And here in 4,000 ticks, we see things a bit messy, but the range actually been respected. We had this, we had an exhaustion right at the lower end at 625, then a high at 675. So let's see, in the case of coming down again, how will be this test? Well, now we've seen here, let's see if it will, a big order from possibly from a big player. Let's see how will be the reaction if there is any. But it's been this big order, market order here that led to this interesting move. Interesting move. Let's see. Yeah, Aaron, doido, cara. Você viu, bicho? Look, how is it's an wow, that something has happened, isn't it? It seems it's such a kind of, but look here, it's interesting. I always mention, look here, the pattern. Let's see if there's any. 2015, 2015, here 2015 again, 22. Let's keep an eye and see whether. But anyway, let's take this opportunity. It's really interesting. 45 was my point here. 95 was my curiosity here. Now we are right. It reached the 91. 93.95 was my doubt. I would like to see it moving downwards, a rejection, preferably a rejection at 9.5 and then moving upwards. But so far, we are seeing that it's too intense, the move towards the 9.5. buyers remain being really aggressive here, but sellers are absorbing. Look here. Now, here we have the value area. Value area top is right at 425. Let's see. Now this is the point here. Let's see. From 3 to 5 is my point. 3 to 5 is the region I had previously and where it's also located yesterday high, 94. So let's see. This is definitely a crucial region. And if we see buyers failing to push above it, then, but now, wow, it was really crazy. It's not easy. It's not that easy to see this kind of. Let's see the 45. Curious, huh? Doido. Doido, Aaron. Doido. Que loucura. Now, the issue turns back to the 600 again. Let's see if it will, because in theory, it should. But look at the rejection. Look at this rejection here in the 5 minutes. Let's see. In theory, the 600 should become now a resistance. Let's see how it will behave. But we are still seeing buyers prevailing at the times in sales. Big blocks, big orders. Strange because sellers were able to make that huge displacement with few contracts. That is kind of, it's a bit strange, but let's see what happens. Let's see. We are almost at 11. Here I want 1 hour more. So, but let's see. It's a time that frequently when change the candle, you change the 15, 30, and 60 minutes, and all the time frames will change now. Let's see. Let's see which will be the case. Well, the fact is that even though buyers remain with their aggressions, so far didn't overcome this 600. Let's see if it will be. No. Strange. Kind of exhaustion in 975. Let's see. 600 is obviously the point. We had already an exhaustion 975. Se tiver, eita, Se tiver algum brasileiro aí, me dá um toque para eu falar em português também, por favor. Ok? Look here. One big block. This is kind of strange. The big displacement was carried out with few contracts. Now we had just one big, okay, recurring aggressions, but one big aggression here. So it's anyway, it's getting a bit strange. Anyway, this could be actually all the session strange because for me it was a surprise to overcome the 600 so easy as it did on the beginning of the session. Even though price the open was pretty much there, it was strange because it's hard to pass through like it did. And then maybe, but I mean, but even considering that, price spent almost more than one hour trading consistently above the 600. What could be actually a strength, a signal of strength. And all we were seeing were aggressive buying, aggressive orders. So buyers are actually strong and stronger. But this correction was made with few contracts, few orders, and put price in a lower level that seems to be, maybe we find down here another region of liquidity that could be nice, could be fine for both. Oh, Aaron, definitely in that way. But what's interesting for me is that because it's been with few contracts, and considering we have the plenty of contracts in the book, especially the algos, it's hard to see such a currently even triggering many stop loss. I'm not used with this, but I would say that it would be needed to, in theory, in a regular condition, be lots of to be a stop loss of many big players to be able to make such a quick, and because it displaced too few contracts. It was interesting. Let's see. Well, here, look, in the 5 minutes, we started trading below my moving average. That was actually flat, and now it's flat and maybe trying to point downwards, but it's still flat. Here in the 2 minutes, we are seeing this difficult to overcome the 1925. You see here, if we see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 minutes, 10 minutes fading up here. Even though we are positive, we are in a positive territory, but failing so many times after having traded there, up there, failing so many times to reach the 600, this could lead to a possible continuity of the correction. But let's see. We're seeing that this 9799, 9799, 97, 675, 875. We are stuck here. Let's see. if we will pass it or not. Kind of small triangle here. Let's see if it's really one or not. Let's see what happens here. Let's see. Because this kind of, after such a selling reaction, we see this kind of pattern here. This is not that bullish. Now, what was happening at the first hour is happening now. The first hour, sellers were failing to bring price to 600. We see the 2 1. Now what we are seeing is that buyers are failing to reach the 600. Now the things has inverted.
I'll see you guys at the end of the year.
You didn't just clinch the final five. In addition, congratulations, you have provisionally qualified for the 2024 Paris Olympics.
Let's see here, we have the high at 975. Let's see. It's interesting to see. Let's see if there's any exhaustion here. $600. It would be important to see prices re-entering this range. If we see price reaching, for example, 2 or 3 and then turning to 6-1 and we see buying absorption, this could be maybe a clue about the possible resumption to trade between 600 and 608. But now there was a rejection at 600. Let's see. There was an exhaustion, the 600, and it's not been easy to overcome it. Exhaustion is 975. Let's see. This fail at 600 could let some hope to sellers, and let's see where price could move, but it's not finished. Let's see if sellers will be able to push downwards again. Strong aggressions here. Let's see how long price as buyers will be able to absorb it as they did. Strong activity, no exhaustion. Let's See the 600, what happens? Now we see that there was an exhaustion 600. It's complicated to follow these right this kind of conclusion in such an important region, but we're seeing that sellers are being so far able to hold price there. They are absorbing now, making some aggressive orders. Now we're seeing that buyers are not that able as they were used to be in the beginning of session to hold price or to move prices. Sellers really aggressive, both absorbing and also making aggressions. This is, we could expect this since it's a key region actually. Exhaustion 600 again, but buyers putting pressure. Let's see, he entering here. Let's see if it will move until an exhaustion in 175. Let's see if it would move until the other end of the range. Now we're seeing that buyers able to hold prices here above. They're absorbing above the 600, but let's see how long it could last. Let's see the view up again. So this it's got a tough region. The 600, it has been defended from buyers in the beginning, then for sellers, and now it seems to get being overcome again. Let's see until where sellers would be able to push. To confirm all the bullish activity we've seen before, it would be interesting to remain here above the 600, and this could also lead to the resumption of the initial hike. Let's see, in theory, let's see if there will be a test at 6. Let's see if buyers will be able to push still there. Since he entered this region and the 600 was strongly defended now again, buyers absorbed here, defending at the 2. Now we could see it reaching the 6. It could mean that we are not necessarily resuming the hike, but it would be a test to the previous range. This could be then the action around the 6 to 8 would be interesting to see to understand about the possible continuity. Let's see if to reach there. We are right at the point of control. Absorption in 350 here. It stopped right at an exhaustion right at the point of control. Let's see if it will, how it would behave in the case of reaching the 6. Actually 7, let's say. It would be better to see at the 7. Let's see something here. We have kind of downtrend here. So as long as we are above the 600, 601 here, we could say that is we covered the bullish perspective. Let's see. This point of control right at 604 makes the region messy. It's hard to, usually it's hard to see prices making bold moves, both upwards and downwards. Let's see if this time. Lembrando que se tivermos brasileiros aí, só me dá um toque aqui no chat, por favor, para eu poder falar um pouquinho em português, ok? So, let's see. We've seen it's been hard this time to overcome the 603 and 4. We just seen we had a exhaustion 475, now an exhaustion at 4. We are very close of the point of control. So even though he entered, we covered, or we are up from above the 600, it's not definitely not that bullish. Look here, if you see the third bar at my volumetric bar here, we see the strong volume here from 272 here, from 2 to 4. Okay, all this region has actually lots of volume, but 2 to 4 has concentrated also this. It's actually the end of the range, and strong absorption from buyers. This higher intensity in the left column means that buyers were able to withstand the pressure and absorbed this volume. Look here again. I think that's about the same from previously, wasn't it? 50, 15, 23, 20. 2015, 2015. Maybe. I like seeing, just curiosity, but I like seeing some recurring orders similar in size and time. It's I sometimes it just turn on a light for me in the sense of because sometimes you see it's really when you see it insisting and several orders, it's not unusual to see it leading to a change of move, not that on volume itself can change, but kind of signal maybe. Then we can see things changing. Let's see, this time at 600, we had this exhaustion at 150 here. It's not, it wouldn't be difficult to enter in kind of, it's been usual recently to enter kind of indecision mode, and then we see a triangle configuring, kind of triangle configuring around here. Let's see if it will be the case. Sellers putting pressure again here around the 600. So far, buyers absorbing. Let's see if there will be an exhaustion or strong aggressions. 600 lost. Did you see that? I've just had drawn that downtrend line and it's been respected. This is interesting. Let's see. Exhaustion at 8. So we could be actually the region of 97, 98 is always a good defense for the round number above it. So we could kind of fill up this 8 to 600 region here and make maybe a larger range here from 750 to 750, for example, maybe a 10-point range. Because considering all the bullish sentiment, all the bullish pressure we are seeing in these 3 sessions this week, not mentioning previously, but the intensity, the way the profile is being accomplished this week, it's hard to think in a reversal, or it would be unlikely. So maybe we could not go too far above, but it's seeming hard to see prices dropping to 20, 30 points. So even though we are seeing buyers losing intensity, it's hard to see to think a reversal. It was really strange, that move that took price until the 91, and there was an exhaustion right at 90.75. It was very strange that. And so concluding, it's hard to think about this losing the 90 and placing thousands of points downwards. Then we could see prices ranging here from 600, 610, remembering that there is the Fibonacci at 620, this one here. This I've taken from the high, ATH, from December 22, the low at October 22. We see that for many weeks, many months, price ranged between the 270 and 222. Now we are almost at the 620. With this 8, considering this long-term perspective, we actually reached, we could consider we actually reached the, we are 11 points above this, 11 points below this Fibonacci retracement at 620. So I would expect that at least a pause we could see around there, especially after such a hike. We've moved from 300 to 600 in a really strong pace. We had this ascending triangle that was broken. It's very bullish, but I usually look at Fibonacci retracements because many times they work. Let's see this time what will be the case. Let's see what will be the case. Vamos ver. Now we start seeing here at the times and sales, it's kind of in the beginning of the session, it was only green, taking the bid, the ask price, lots of contracts, thousands of contracts. It was really intense, the buying aggressiveness. Now, then we've seen sellers getting stronger, but definitely at no point we could say that buyers were weak. At some point they've lost part of their buying moment, but they were not definitely weak. Now we're seeing things mixed. The green and orange here, green are the buying aggressive orders or buyers taking the ask, and the orange ones is sellers hitting the bid. Okay, now we have this kind of mixed, so different from the scenario we had before at the opening. Now things are mixed, and we are right in the middle of this range. So this mix we see here in the tendency kind of reflect the region prices currently trading. Let's see here. Let's see the 475. Let's see. We are right at the point of control, a region that I definitely don't like trading because it's intrinsically a difficult point since it concentrates the highest volume of the session. Let's see this, if our trend line would work. But at this time, we could see, I think, in this kind of condition, I think that it could be broken because you see here, we had a test right at it, price make a correction, but didn't even reach the 600. Or, oh no, it reached the 198. But anyway, it didn't reach the 96. So at this time, we could see the breakout here at the 475. Let's see which will be the case. But we have another interesting comment here. I will make a recap of the session, regular session scenario. We opened today. Latest 2 sessions were actually bullish. Sessions low was made right at the beginning, and then after that, prices spent all the session trading upwards. Today was a bit stronger. Prices opened above yesterday's high, really close to 600, just passed it through it, turned it back. It was a support. Price didn't even reach it, the 600. Move it upwards again and make the high at 608. You see that there was a really weird aggression during the middle. We have a strong fall, a strong drop with few contracts. I don't know how did it work, but see here. All of these I've been mentioning was happening above yesterday's value area. That is also a bullish signal. And at this, right at that correction I've mentioned, we have this rejection at the 94. It reached the 91, but immediately moved upwards again. Then it confirms that. Fala, Fernando! Boa, cara! Obrigado por você ter falado que você está aí, que eu vou falar um pouco em português também. Eu tenho feito em português de 10h20 a 11h30, mas a minha comunicação ficou ruim, eu não informei isso direito, mas bom você dar um sinal aí que eu vou falando em português também. Eu faço a recapitulação em português para você daqui a pouquinho. Então, all this I've been mentioning confirms that the mood itself is bullish, okay? So let's see what's going to happen if we're going to reach the 7. If we break out up here now, it could maybe we could be more breakout could be more reliable. Let's see what is going to happen there. Let's see if it reach 750. Fala, Fernandão, beleza, cara? Fazer rapidamente a recapitulação aqui, que eu estava exatamente fazendo com a galera agora. Eu acho que você não deve ter visto a live em português. Estava falando que as 2 últimas sessões, elas foram muito altistas, muito fortes, desde o começo. A gente fez a máxima logo na abertura, em 2 regiões que eu tinha mencionado de manhã, que poderiam ser suportes ou resistência. Bateu ali, foi, subiu o dia inteiro. Hoje foi mais relevante ainda, porque já abriu acima da máxima de ontem, passou reto nos 600, na hora que voltou, segurou acima dos 600 e foi. A primeira alta foi exatamente no 606, que é um ponto que eu tinha falado de manhã, que eu tinha que poderia ser ali. A gente continuou em muita agressividade. Se você olhar no Times and Sales, no início da manhã, a gente tinha muita paulada de compra, que a gente não estava vendo nos outros dias também. Então estava muito forte, acontecendo muito forte isso. Então, ali deu algumas vezes, daria para comprar, vinha perto de 600, 602, dava para comprar, esperar lá em cima. Teve algumas exaustões lá em cima, aquele estilo que a gente fala, você está esperando o rompimento, mas os caras pararam lá, então dava até para pegar um retorno. Nosso amigo Aaron pegou uns trades lá, voltar até perto dos 600. Embora estava muito altista, tinha um risco, é um pouco desconfortável, mas na terceira ou quarta vez que aconteceu, Deu para ver que era mais um range do que uma possibilidade de quebra. E depois deram uma paulada bem estranha, que aí trouxe o preço até no 90, mas eu estava falando exatamente da rejeição que teve lá e o fato dos caras terem conseguido voltar para cima dos 600. Eu tinha falado no início do dia, depois que abriu, a gente viu onde abriu, eu queria ver um teste no 93, 95, para ver o que aconteceria depois no 600, porque ele poderia virar uma boa resistência e cair, mas se subisse, confirmaria a alta, né? Então, o que aconteceu é que realmente ele recuperou acima dos 600. Então, agora, se ele passar do 8, de repente a gente pode ver o movimento continuando. Mas encontraram uma liquidez boa e ele está travado nessa linha aqui. Difícil fazer qualquer coisa no momento. So, guys, we are seeing that we are kind of getting stuck in the same region we spent the first hour. But anyway, this is bullish, even getting stuck here because price lost the 600, quickly recovered, and then we are trading above the 600 again. And remembering that I've mentioned about the Fibonacci at 620, okay? I will be here for a more couple of minutes, but 620 is a Fibonacci retracement. Boa, garoto. Aproveitou. Isso é bom. Ó. Tá muito altista, né, cara? Tá difícil pensar em venda, né? Você reparou? Mas, ao mesmo tempo, não é comprar em cima. É a hora que volta, forma os suportes claros. Aí, depois, a hora que vai, dá pra comprar. Muito bom, cara. Isso aí. Fico feliz. Senti sua falta lá no brasileiro. Eu não sei se aquele horário lá é ruim pra você, se você faz outra coisa. Depois eu tenho que dar uma perguntada pra galera. Ontem e hoje veio bem pouca gente naquele horário. Eu não sei se é pior. Se o meio-dia for melhor para os brasileiros, eu passo a fazer meio-dia. Como eu gosto da abertura, eu achei que ia ser legal fazer com o pessoal do Brasil de 10h20 a 11h30. É uma coisa até pra gente entender depois com a turma, fazer uma pesquisinha aqui. O que eu quero fazer não é o que é melhor para mim, é o que for mais conveniente eu conseguir atrair mais gente, né? So, we're still bullish since as long as we're above the 600. I'm curious about what's going to happen when reaching here. All we've seen at during the morning was exhaustion in every possible breakout, exhaustion. 1 point displacement, exhaustion. A 1.5 point displacement, exhaustion. The third time, it was clear that was lacking interest from buyers to push price up there. Okay. So it would be interesting to see this time what's going to happen. Just making trying to draft possible scenarios. It would be interesting. Oh, look here. Oh, look that guy. I was mentioning about the 1520, I guess. 1520. Let's see. 1520. I like 1520. And all the time it's curious, it's intriguing because there is a strong liquidity. We have market depth there, but every time this guy make this order with 30 contracts, 50 contracts, it displays. Look here, few contracts displacing many points. It's curious. It's curious. It's better not actually, obviously, not try to understand what happened. We do not need to understand, just to react to what we're seeing. But I get curious with this. Entendi, Fernando. Entendi. Às vezes você fica lá, tal. Fiquei até na dúvida, pô, será que o Fernando não gostou ontem ou não tá legal? Mas eu sei como é que é. Essa coisa de ter que trabalhar e operar ao mesmo tempo, isso não é mole não, cara. Isso é fogo. Inclusive, tem que saber lidar bem com isso. Não ficar ansioso. Let's see, let's see. Look here. We reached 475, 575, 575. Look here. We have reached in the latest 2 times 575. Now there was a rejection right at 525, a bit lower with only 4 contracts. Too few contracts to be taken up there. But in my understanding, this is the kind of condition that you need to be calm, be quiet, and don't try anything, because there are no clear, I'm not seeing, in my perspective, not seeing any clear possibility. We would need to see, in my opinion, since I'm going to finish in a couple of minutes. To consider doing something, I would need to see what would happen here above the 850. My preferable scenario would be to see a breakout until 1150 at least, a selling defense and absorptions above the 950. Sellers putting pressure, buyers absorbing, and then overtaking the lead. Then I could consider this could be the breakout and could move upwards. I anyway would not be that comfortable due to that Fibonacci at 620 I've mentioned. But anyway, in a bullish perspective, I could try along there. And only in the other end, around here, from 5 to 7, I would consider checking whether this will consolidate as a range. So reaching at the 7, fails here or exhaustions below it, and he entering buying pressure, I could consider a long. Since, as I've mentioned before, current scenario is bullish, so it's been hard to think about a strong correction. It could happen, but does not seem to be very likely, but it could. So in this sense, if I would be considering any short, for example, it would be need to lose the 97 region, recovering and failing around the 8 to 6, and then moving downwards. Then I would start to seek or to search for potential short entries. But I wouldn't be surprised if for a while again, or for a couple of hours, maybe 1 or 2 hours, we see the potential alternatives within this big range from 7 to 7, 97 to 607. Let's see what's going to happen. Fernandão, falando com a turma aqui, que tá complicado. Eu imagino que você tá aí, eu vou falar em português. Se não tiver, fica gravado. Nesse meio aqui do 97 ao 07, agora eu não sentiria conforto em fazer nada. O que eu gostaria de ver é romper e ir até o 11,5, voltar a ver uma defesa. Podia até chegar antes voltar no range, mas rejeitar para baixo do 8, voltar e começar a ver absorção de compra a partir do 9,5. Isso podia levar a uma correção que poderia chegar talvez na região do 620, que tem o Fibonacci ali, que aí acho difícil passar reto, mas poderia. E na outra ponta, exaustões aqui em cima também. Exaustões aqui acima do 8. Se fizer o comportamento de manhã, aí pode gerar oportunidade de entrar vendido para pegar até lá na região dos 600, o 598. Porque de manhã ele rompeu, exauriu, um pontinho e meio. Isso não dá para acreditar como bom rompimento. Se ele romper por pouquinho assim e entrar pressão, aí é isso, é operar o range. Se subir é o que eu falei antes, e se descer, teria que perder o 97, depois ter dificuldade de ganhar os 600 e a gente começar a ver a absorção dos vendedores, de preferência abaixo do 97. Aí poderia dar margem para alguma correçãozinha, mas ao mesmo tempo, a gente está muito altista esses últimos dias, está mais difícil de imaginar correções significativas. Então, mesmo perdendo, tem aquele monte de ponto importante que a gente falou de manhã, ficar de olho neles, porque é pouco provável uma escorregada forte, pode ser, até pode, mas é menos provável. Então, ficar de olho ali para só segurar uma eventual venda lá embaixo se tiver muito clara a pressão e o deslocamento, ok? Okay, guys, I'll be finishing here. Take care. The beginning it was a bit easier to try something, or there was some good opportunities. There were some opportunities. In the latest hour, it's getting a bit difficult. Price got kind of stuck. No clear behavior. What makes things riskier to try. And wanting to do something during the afternoon, sometimes we get stuck here, and during the afternoon, the latest hour and a half before the closing, we are seeing sometimes some stronger moves. Sometimes it bounces in support, or the contrary, it bounces in resistance. So it's better to avoid trying or taking risk in such a condition, and maybe if you really want to do something, to wait a bit and do it a bit later. Exatamente, Fernando. Se for na venda, é mais curta, cara, porque tá muito forte. Você vê padrões às vezes que seriam claramente, que aconteceriam, que deslocariam muito, tá deslocando pouco. A compra rapidamente entra e compra. Então tá perigoso mesmo se na venda. É isso aí. Se for venda, é curta, não tentar alongar e viu que enroscou, sai fora, né? Ok, guys. Aaron, você que tá sempre aí, um americano mais brasileiro que eu conheço, obrigado por estar aí. Fernandão, esse outro cara que tá na área deve ser você. Bom tê-lo. Eu falei, amanhã cedo eu vou fazer de novo 10h20 em português, então se você conseguir, dá aquela olhada lá. Ao mesmo tempo eu vou tentar dar uma sondada com a turma para ver que horário que é mais conveniente para os brasileiros. But that's it. Obrigadão, Aaron. Obrigadão, Fernando. Obrigadão. Thank you so much for all the guys that are watching the recorded version. And any doubts, just drop me a comment and I will be glad in answering you. Okay? Guys, thank you. Obrigadão, turma. Valeu.